Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
I've got a joke.
Have you?
I've
What's
got
your
a joke.
What's your joke?
Right. Ben and Polly were going shopping.
Right.
Right. Because Polly wanted Ben to get some new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben wanted some new trousers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Polly was holding up two pairs of trousers. And Ben wondered what the weather was going to be like, whether it was going to be hot or whether it was going to be cold.
Right.
And Polly said, you could have the cooler slacks, or you could have the warmer jeans.
God.
Doctor Who and the War Machines, episode 3.
Yes.
No symbol clash.
No.
How disappointing.
Yes.
But it does flash black and white.
It does flash in black and white.
Which does your eyes in after a while. 5.3 million people
watched it
flashing black and white.
Yes.
And the day before it was recorded, Ben and Polly had their photo call. So,
right.
And it's very clear how this is very much Ben and Polly's episode.
Yes. Hartnell's sort of stuck at the house.
Hartnell's with William Mervyn,
yes.
and Dodo is
gone.
Is gone.
She's gone.
So Ben and Polly really are what we're focused on.
Yes. Though the first Doctor gets the cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about the cliffhanger
when we get there.
But when the War Machine 9 or 3, depending on which shot it is, comes up to the camera, one of its indicator lights is right close in the camera lens, and if you look in later shots, you can see it's burned out the picture somehow. So whether it's, I'm assuming it's burned out the camera a bit, because you keep cutting back to the Major's face, and there's a burned out image of the light right in the middle of his face at one point. But I like the way that even when the War Machine, we cut away from the War Machine to Ben and Polly in that sort of side room, with more boxes in. You've still got the continual noise of the computer of the War Machine just chuntering away in the background. So, although as is pointed out, there's no incidental music for it.
There's
still that soundtrack that's there all the time,
and that's something that we've seen in the new series. You know, Sigan Akinola's sometimes just had noise.
Yeah, the music's dialed down.
So
I mean, you get this in other stories like sort of The Wheel in Space or something. There's no tunes as such.
No.
There's no tunes. There's just a lot of just noise. Yeah. So it's an interesting approach, and in this case saves a bit of money, I think, as well. But Polly's been hypnotised, and I think Annika does some quite good hypnotised acting, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
You know, she's taking it seriously.
She is.
And, you know, having something, but both of them having something to do. I think they grasp it with both hands.
They do, yeah.
They're really good. I like the little known fact that Hartnell had McVitie's fruitcake during the recording of episode 3.
Yes.
That's one from the production notes. William Mervyn's on the booze, isn't he?
He is. He's having a glass of whiskey.
Well, we assume it's whiskey.
Well, because the glass is too big to be sherry, because sherry's always served in a smaller glass. Yeah. It's either whiskey or brandy.
Yeah. If it was all gas and gators, it would be sherry.
Yeah.
But I think Hartnell and William Mervyn are
getting
really, really good, aren't they?
Yes, they're sort of bouncing off each other quite well.
It's as we've said, it's a shame he don't come back.
Well, he wouldn't come back with William Hartnell anyway.
No, there's a few people to spot in the background in this one.
Yes.
And
not.
And not, depending on who went home. Well, not home. Hugh Cecil's there with his bald head.
Yes.
He's from the Dalek Master Plan and things like this. You said about these boxes with W on. There's also a load of boxes that say high explosive in big letters.
Just to let you know.
Yeah. I'm hoping they're empty because of what happens later, but...
Yes.
Don't know. And Polly gives a real Dr. Evil look at one point. She sort of arches her eyebrow. And, you know, you almost expect, when she says about the victory of the War Machine, she does give a proper good. You almost expect her to do that, but she doesn't, because that would be a few years too early.
Yes.
We have to mention how episode 3 is a real patchwork when it comes to the visuals.
Yes.
Because this is taken from various sources and it's been censored in sort of New Zealand for some of the more violent bits. I don't really see that there's anything too awful in it. You know, there's no real stabbings and things like that. I think The Smugglers is worse in that respect.
Yeah. But you know, censors are sensitive.
Censors are sensitive
sometimes. So these
things. We should do a census on whether censors are sensitive, shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Let's carry on. But yeah, in order to repair certain sections of this episode, the restoration team have had to go for shots from all over the place.
It's been very creative.
Yeah, there's some clever editing going on, because some of it you do notice after sort of seeing it 2 or 3 times, but I think on first viewing you wouldn't really have a clue. Some of the dialogue also has been taken from fan recordings, and I'd be interested to know whether the newly discovered audio recordings from this period, because what is it, the gunfighters to the moon base, was it, or something like that? But there are various new improved soundtrack sources which certainly are helping with much of season 3 and season 4, and it'll be interesting to see how and when these get used. So this is the thing, there's never really a definitive version of an episode.
No.
And were another print of episode 3 to be found, unlikely I know, it might, if it's not come through the New Zealand censors route, we might still be able to repair it even more. That's all interesting from a technical point of view. And the fact that the censor clips themselves were recovered, that's amazing.
Yes, because normally you would think they've just thrown them away.
Yeah. I believe there are some clips from Marco Polo that were actually thrown away. There's the horrible line, "We had a bonfire."
Oh.
So that you could have had a couple of just very quick clips from Marco Polo found, but nothing yet, I'm afraid.
No.
I'd never noticed till the production notes pointed out the Dalek rail counter.
Oh right, yeah.
The big round thing with the lights. Yeah. So that's from 2150 AD.
That's sponsored by Sugar Puffs.
Polly sees Ben getting away, but
she lets him go.
She don't raise the alarm. Why is that, Lisa? Why doesn't Polly give Ben away?
Even deep down under the hypnotism, she likes him.
All right. So Mike Yarwood's gone for an X-ray.
X-way.
An X-way.
X-ray, yes.
Yeah. So I just put Mike Yarwood is not appearing in this film. He could have done, but he went off. Ben makes a load of noise escaping, doesn't he?
Well, the door's locked, so he has to sort of jemmy it, doesn't he?
Rattle it and off he goes. Then
it's lucky that's that really loud noise over everything. I would have heard him.
Yeah, well, maybe it is. Hartnell and Ben have a bit of a scene, and again the notes. Let's just go to the book. Innes Lloyd sends Jerry Davis a memo confirming that William Hartnell will be unable to appear in episode 3 of serial HH, which will be recorded on Saturday the 11th of February 1967.
Okay.
So in other words, Hartnell's not going to be in Doctor Who when Patrick Troughton takes over.
No. Well, at this point,
but at that point, Patrick Troughton
has been cast.
Yeah. But I like the fact that they're planning that well ahead.
Yeah.
You know, because we're talking that this is June 1966, and they're booking holiday for Hartnell in February 67.
Yeah.
You know, even you don't book some of your holiday that far ahead.
Can't book any holiday at all at the moment.
No,
that's not
okay.
Story.
But I just wrote, Hartnell on holiday in February 1967. How true that is.
Yes, permanently on holiday.
Ben claims they're going to blow up the London.
Yeah.
So it's either that, I know he's going to blow up the whole of London, which is perhaps an overestimate.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to say what sometimes people say, that London.
Yeah.
Because you say, I'm going up to that London.
Yes.
That's what people say, you don't go to London
Some
much.
people do.
Or possibly it's the prison spaceship from Blake 7. They're going to blow up the London. Well, I don't think that ever happened, did it?
No.
And William Mervyn, when he's on the phone call to the minister, that's not in the camera script.
No, it's been added in.
Added in.
Yes.
The
episode's running short.
It's lucky that the minister is easily convinced, though, isn't he?
Yes, he doesn't have to convince him terribly hard, does he?
Yeah, because you get this loony phone call from Mr. Rose that there's a killer machine in
apparently.
London, and they send in the army. And I like the shot, alert, alert, alert.
Yeah.
And you get some nice montage stuff with the army truck driving round in circles.
Yes.
And you get at least 3 shots of it.
You do, yes.
And I said, is it the boys from Pippin Fort have arrived in their truck? Because it is quite similar to the truck
It's not too dissimilar. Yes.
they've got. I'd love the fact that all the army soldiers got out and it went like that.
Yeah.
That's the music for
Yes,
the boys
yes,
from Pippin
yes.
Fort. John Rolfe's about,
Mm-hmm.
also to be seen in The Moon Base and The Green Death.
Mm-hmm.
The fight scene is another of these patchwork jobs, but I think it holds together pretty well.
Yeah.
I do wonder whether it goes on a bit too long.
Possibly, yes. Like I said, I think the episode was running a bit short.
Yeah.
Padding it out with fight scenes is,
But in terms of getting the army into Doctor
Yeah.
Who, this is like nothing you've seen before.
No, you've never had the contemporary army in. We've never
I
had
mean,
any
you do
army,
get
really.
set piece fight scenes
Yeah.
like in The Web Planet
Yes.
and things like that,
Yeah.
but nothing involving soldiers with guns
No.
in quite this way. And you can see how this, as we go down this path, you're going to get similar scenes in the Web Affair
Yeah.
and the invasion and so on. But this is really where it all starts,
Yeah.
isn't it? I'd said the boxes say high explosives, and there's an awful lot of the soldiers don't manage to shoot,
No.
but the war machine's spraying willy nilly, isn't
Yes.
he? And
Yes.
then, although it is running out of steam in a couple of shots,
Yes, it's sort of
it gets a bit weedy. It's sort of psst, psst. It's like when you come to the end of your sort of your
deodorant
sprays
spray,
and things like that. It just goes. So maybe it's like it has to get a bit of coal put in the back to get the steam pressure up again. I don't know. I love the fact that's the thing. How does this weapon system work?
It's like sort of fire extinguisher.
Well, that's what it is in real life.
Yeah.
But what's it actually meant to be?
I don't know.
Because the soldiers don't take kindly to it, do they?
No, and then it sets fire to some crates.
Yeah. So luckily it doesn't set fire to the high explosives, does it?
It is really, yeah.
But it's I put moustaches in the background.
Yeah, there's a couple of high-ranking, so-called high. Why they're there? It's like generals don't go on sort of alert things.
Yeah.
They're safely back.
They've just turned up to lurk in the background and show off their moustaches.
Ridiculous moustaches. Yeah.
Don't know. The crates are set on fire, and so is the war machine.
Yes.
As there's a surviving film insert with Gerald Taylor with his
Legging
arse,
it.
in case his arse goes on fire.
Yes.
And again, we've got some original film sequences for this bit when the war machine sort of comes outside, and again, that's amazing that those survive. And there's very little from the black and white days like that. There's stuff for the Abominable Snowman and a few other bits and bobs, but this is really nice to have this. And then you get, I've put Hartnell doing a Trial of the Time Lord close-up. So Trial of a Time Lord, you keep on getting close-ups of Colin Baker.
Yes.
But Hartnell takes it's a real hero shot for Hartnell's Doctor, isn't it? He does the full...
He grasps his lapels and
full
he stares into the war
and
machine.
he does the real stare into the camera as the light sort of comes in onto his face. And I can imagine, that image being burned into children's minds for a whole week, being scared of Hartnell. But it's a rattling good episode.
Yeah, it rattles. You forget how much this one does. It really does feel like a modern episode of Doctor Who, and I don't mean that in a sort of bad way, but there are some First Doctor episodes that are a little bit more slower paced, whereas this one just rattles along really quickly.
And how well, I think, does Hartnell work in a modern day
military
setting?
He really does, yeah.
So I could have seen, more of this. Sadly, you know, it's not going to be.
No.
But you know, the thing about the Hartnell sort of serials, especially, is that they do an awful lot of stuff that gets repeated later on.
Yeah.
You know,
They set
down the years,
Yeah.
because this is all breaking new ground. So yeah, I mean, people say that episode 3s tend to be the filler one, don't they?
This certainly didn't feel like that.
And although, as we might say, the fight sequence maybe is a little long,
Yes.
but even so, the wheels of the plot are still
going,
moving,
Yeah.
and you know, you really want to see part 4 and see how it all wraps
How it's
up.
going to finish. Though you don't necessarily know it's part 4 at this point, do you? Because you know, Hartnell stories could go on for 12 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. I don't know whether the listing for it in Radio Times says part 3 or 4, and I don't think it does.
Yeah.
You know, you'd always know when there was a new story because it would get a little bit of publicity. But yeah, this could be a 6-parter, I guess, couldn't it? And it would be interesting to see. But yeah, at this point, there's a lot of 4-parters in Hartnell.
Yes.
It does become. You know, after Dalek Master Plan, it's 4-parters all the way, really, isn't it? When you think about it. So, would you have cottoned on to the fact that the series had moved away from longer stories at this point? I don't really know. But there you go. The War Machines, episode 3.
Yes.
And back soon. Well, back in a week for episode 4.
Episode 4. Yes.
And see what happens.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.